I know you were critical of Fox yesterday. You came out and you tweeted Fox News heavily promoting the Democrats through the DNC communications director, spewing out whatever she wanted.
Absolutely.
So you were very upset.
No, I'm not happy with Fox.
All right, well, I think the president watches Fox. I also think he is getting sick of Fox, which is weird because I think he gets pretty fair coverage at Fox. But the president making clear to fact-check him is to be all but dead to him, and his legion of supporters who let me know in no uncertain terms I am either with him totally or I am a never-Trumper fully. There are no grays, no middle ground. You're either all in or you're just out. Loyal on everything or not to be trusted on anything, which could explain the president himself this week bashing Fox News yet again, urging his supporters to stop watching the channel, to quote tweet, "Fox isn't working for us anymore." Well, first of all, Mr. President, we don't work for you. I don't work for you. My job is to cover you, not fawn over you or rip you, just report on you, to call balls and strikes on you. My job, Mr. President, our job here is to keep the scores, not settle scores. Now, in my case, to report the economic numbers when they're good and when they're bad, when the markets are soaring and when they're tumbling, when trade talks look like they're coming together and when they look like they're falling apart. It is called being fair and balanced, Mr. President, yet it is fair to say you're not a fan when that balance includes stuff you don't like to hear or facts you don't like to have questioned. You're only human. I get that. Who likes to be corrected? But you are the president. It comes with the job, just like checking what you say and do comes with my job. After all, I'm not the one who said tariffs are a wonderful thing. You are. Just like I'm not the one who said Mexico would pay for the wall. You did. Just like I'm not the one who claimed that Russia didn't meddle in the 2016 election. You did. Now, I'm sorry you don't like these facts being brought up, but they are not fake because I did. What would be fake is if I never did. If I ignored all the times you said you loved your old Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, until you didn't. Had no plans to dump your Homeland Security Secretary until you did. Called Chinese President Xi Jinping an enemy just last week and a great leader this week. Sometimes you don't even wait that long. Last week, you expressed an appetite for background checks before arguing just hours later our background checks are already strong. These aren't fake items. They're real items, and you really said them. Just like you never paid to silence a porn star until it turns out you did. Never ordered your former White House counsel Don McGahn to fire Bob Mueller until we learned you tried. Fake is when it's wrong, Mr. President, not when it's unpleasant. Just like it isn't and wasn't fake when you said the Access Hollywood tape wasn't real when it was, or that you inherited a depression from Barack Obama when you didn't, or that you ripped quantitative easing when he was president, but are furious the Federal Reserve isn't doing the same for you now that you're president. You're entitled to your point of view, Mr. President, but you're not entitled to your own set of facts. Now, we can argue over whether you ever wanted to buy Greenland or disrupt hurricanes with nuclear weapons, but where seeds are planted, doubts are sown. You're right to say the media isn't fair to you, that they're more inclined to report the bad than anything good about you. So it is no surprise you're frustrated that more aren't in line with you and that everyone at Fox might not be in lockstep with you. You might even think that those who are work for you. They don't. I don't. Hard as it is to fathom, Mr. President, just because you're the leader of the free world doesn't entitle you to a free pass. Unfortunately, just a free press.
This is Fox News' Neil Cavuto going in on Trump in the aftermath of a series of claims by the president that prove just what kind of relationship he thinks he has with Fox News. And that's a transactional one. They give him fawning coverage and he rewards them with access and interviews and tweets that often read like a TV guide. He promotes their anchor's book so that he can help them make a quick buck, because when it comes down to it, it is all about dollars and cents with him. Trump isn't looking for accurate coverage or a critical coverage, he's looking for fawning coverage. He wants a North Korea-style state TV network, a propaganda arm of the White House. And look, I should mention off the bat that his expectations aren't unfounded. With hosts like Tucker Carlson and Judge Jeanine and Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham each trying to outdo the other in terms of how hard they can grovel at his feet, it's no surprise that this is what Trump's come to expect. And it's no surprise that the network has facilitated this reputation for itself. If it was truly concerned about, quote, fair and balanced coverage, well, first, they wouldn't have literally shed their fair and balanced slogan. I feel like that says a lot. But the network also doesn't shy away from what it calls its opinion hosts. The Trump sycophants are the ones with the primetime slots. And Fox might claim plausible deniability when it comes to the fact that they're not journalists and have never claimed to be, but most Americans who watch the network have no idea that the people sitting in a news studio, wearing suits, talking politics, sometimes with the President of the United States himself, behind a logo that has the word news in it, isn't actually news. And clearly Fox knows this. It's manipulative and exploitative, absolutely, but more importantly, in today's climate, with these desperate mouthpieces parading as journalists with no accountability, it's dangerous. It's dangerous for a number of reasons, but first and foremost, by having a network parroting hateful rhetoric, we're seeing more and more people who think they have tacit approval, not only from the president, but an entire news organization to act on Trump's words, to commit mass shootings because of, for example, what Trump and Fox News have called on countless occasions an invasion.
This is not immigration. Immigration happens with the consent of the host country. This is happening by force without our consent. Will anyone in power do anything to protect America this time? Or will leaders sit passively back as the invasion continues?
They think they have tacit approval from Trump and Fox News to attack journalists who they see as purveyors of fake news, which both Trump and Fox have repeated ad nauseum.
Sean Hannity, come on up, Sean Hannity. By the way, all those people in the back are fake news.
But besides the physical consequences, Fox News has also caused irreparable damage to the integrity of this country's news. By virtue of conservative talking heads posing as journalists, propping up stories that are more akin to Republican talking points than actual news, under the banner of a legitimate news conglomerate, the other networks are forced to give these stories airtime, or else they'll be accused of having a liberal bias. So what we're left with is conservative conspiracy theories that enter the mainstream. And of course those stories aren't vetted or even worthy of reporting, but because Fox's focus isn't journalistic, but rather political, they do it anyway. And that's why we were forced to endure endless reporting on Hillary Clinton's so-called email scandal, which Fox News covered more than nearly any other story. And while it was used by Fox to attack Hillary Clinton for the grave national security implications that came with her using a private email server to conduct government business, when Ivanka Trump did the exact same thing, there was complete silence from Fox News. And that's proof that this was never about the merits of the story, it was just about doing the White House's bidding, about demonizing a Democrat in service of a Republican. And that happens on a constant basis, with Fox News promoting absolutely baseless conspiracy theories like Uranium One, like the migrant caravans which conveniently only seem to pop up during election time, like Obama's tan suit scandal. For all of these, Fox News wills them into legitimacy by reporting on it and then calling other media sources who don't report on it liberal stooges. And look, there's clearly an appetite for this state TV style network in America. It's easy to want to watch a network that can fawn over the president without being beholden to any facts or accountability standards. But until Fox News realizes the damage it's doing to this country, until it decides it's more important to tell the truth than to profit off of propaganda, that damage will continue. And it looks like the only way to stop it is for people like Neil Cavuto to continue speaking out no matter what the president says.